love letter to myself. Isn't it incredible? You have outlived yourself. 20 years ago, medical experts told your mother that due to spinal muscular atrophy, you would not live past your 5th birthday. You feel guilty because you have left folks behind. You have left millions of disabled 20-somethings scattered throughout the global south behind. In some ways, they are like you, young, black, profoundly disabled, but in many ways, they are not like you. You live a life they can barely imagine. Unlike you, they are locked up in the back rooms of grim nursing homes, made to disappear from public view, and are neglected and ill-treated by society and the state.
Like ke be na le ya company ya ke bile my own company. Ke rata gore ke tsebe haholo ene ke kgone go ruta le ba kgone go tsamaya gore ba kgone go bona rona batho ba sa itekanelang le rona re kgone go etsa dintho. Ke nna ntse ke tseliwe 31.
Oh, there we go. My name is Edward Ndofu. I go by Eddie though, and I am the head of Amnesty International's Youth Engagement Program for Africa. My dreams are huge. The kind of life that I seek to live is on an epic scale and really big, and I think there's a reason for that. I think because I know that I'm dying. I know because I have a degenerative disability, and because I know the older I get, the weaker I become, there's an urgency at the back of my mind. And because of that urgency, I don't have time to play small. I insist on moving around because I don't think we can really talk about freedom of movement if we don't accord that to people who have issues with mobility. We're a mean team.
You know, we are connected.
Yeah, on a deep level.
Very deep.
Yeah, it's beautiful. My bestie. My work is mainly with young people, finding out what young people's perspectives are on human rights abuses and violations throughout Africa. I think that the vast majority of people with disabilities in South Africa are incredibly disenfranchised to the point of being invisible. People with disabilities disappear into the background. We don't see them. We don't hear from them. There's already overwhelming poverty and overwhelming inequality and unemployment in South Africa for your non-disabled person, but for disabled South Africans, it's compounded by the anti-disability society in which we live, which is not just a South African problem, but I would argue a global problem.
Like how outsama mo tseleng, like how tsamaya motho ba o tsamaya bohloko tjena o entswe keng o betswe ke a thula nje ba nna ke a tseba gore ke entswe ke modimo ka iketsa ka o penta phepfolo gore ke a bontsha gore le nna ke support-a batho ba tshwanang le nna so jwale re hloka batho le bona ba re support jwalo ka ha re support-a lona.
Nswaki was one of the founding members of a self-help group for caregivers of children with disabilities. So Nswaki attended with her mother. My name is Jean Elphick. I work for Africa Tikkun and I run the empowerment program within Africa Tikkun. Africa Tikkun is quite a big South African NGO and we're really focused on children.
Do you feel lonely or empty? But do you have some support from family members or?
I have a lot of help from my family, from my aunt and my cousin.
Yeah, okay. Do you feel ashamed of your disability or you are not ashamed of it?
No, I'm proud of
You're
my
proud of it, okay.
I get that we're all in the process of dying, but for me it feels more real and evident because my body communicates with me every day.
1, 2, 1, 2.
I feel weaker. I have shortness of breath sometimes, and that's why with the energy that I have, I want to use it in the best way I possibly can. That was so good. Yes. That was so good. I am handsome because of my crooked hands and my crooked back. Schools rejected you time and time again. It was said that you would never cut it in the formal education system. In my mind, I reject the hells of incapacitation for a world of boundless mobility. I ignore those. So when I was 16 years old, my mom came home one afternoon and she brought with her a magazine, and slap bang in the middle was a feature on this new school, the African Leadership Academy. The poem was part of the grand opening of the academy. I am free. In my mind, the possibilities are endless.
South Africa is really heralded as having a fantastic legislation, a really strong constitution which really pushes human rights. Unfortunately, however, more than 2 decades on, there's been a real lag in the implementation of these fantastic policies. No one really knows exactly how many children with disabilities are not going to school on the grounds of having a disability. But our state estimates are almost 600,000 children. And finally, there is huge problems with accessing justice. And in South Africa, we have a big problem with gender-based violence. People with disabilities are far more vulnerable and likely to experience abuse.
Cousin ya ka e ne tlile le mokgotsi wa yona. Ha ntse re dutse, cousin ya ka e bere yona e batla ya shopong. And then mokgotsi wa cousin ya ka e be ngula. Ha e ngula be kwela fatshe. Ha kwela fatshe a ba angry. Maponeseng cousin ya ka e be mfounela. E rona ke ske ka ya maponeseng. Yena o tla solve. Ka be ke re mos ke mmele wa ka o.
When we realized that Nswaki had reported the case and it didn't appear that anything had happened, we referred Nswaki to a public interest attorney. Whilst this was all going on, the family of the perpetrator was trying very hard to bribe Nswaki's family to drop the charges. They offered a washing machine in return for dropping the charges. A plea bargain was offered to the perpetrator, who agreed to plead guilty to the charge of sexual assault, and he was given a 5-year suspended sentence, which means that he went home and he didn't serve any jail time.
For now, la bathatha ba nne ke dua ke ikwalletse se ke tshaba. Ne ke rata hore ba tsebe hore le rona re letje re batho jwalo ka bona, and le bona ha ba re bua le rona ga re bua. Hore ke batla hore batho ba emise ka ho sotlana le batho. Ba bue, batho ba bue, ba tlohelle ho thula.
I live here with my mom and my brother when he's not at university. It's home.
Okay. I'm getting sweaty. When I see I get emotional. Let me just see if I can find something. Oh, did you see?
This is not working for me.
Oh my God, yeah.
Oh my God, I've always been a diva. My
Just
God.
look at yourself there.
Look at myself.
Yeah.
Look at the teeth.
Hey.
Give me tissue. We've come a long way.
Yeah, we have. So we know how to make buildings accessible, but people with disabilities also need access to things that are somewhat not very tangible, like love and intimacy and joy. Sex is a human activity that most people engage in. It's a right. It's a human right. How are you?
Love the party.
How are you? I'm gay too. I'm queer, and so it's difficult. It's hard, but I think that there are ways that we can fulfill that for people with disabilities. Simpiwa Dana is a very good friend of mine and somebody who I adore. You look absolutely amazing. Hello. So where were you? Her music is incredibly soulful. She's got lots of politically conscious stuff that she puts out there. And so she was an Amnesty International ambassador. So we met to catch up, one, as friends, but also to discuss future collaboration. If you wouldn't mind writing a song, you know, and really being, and I mean, the thing is to get something that's got a human rights messaging, but even beyond that, something that is also up-tempo as well, that we can... In a nice way, I ambush people and get them to do projects. That's how I get them to commit.
Inspired by our negative experience of supporting Nswaki through the investigation and the court process, we really redoubled our efforts to look at empowering young people with disabilities to prevent abuse in the first place.
Depends.
what we are experimenting with and what we're really giving a try is rolling out a peer education, sexuality, life skills and HIV course. She is an extremely resilient person and she really is a valuable member of our self-help group. She adds so much of her character and her humor to our group and at times her sarcasm. But she is a very lively and extremely positive person.
Tino is my rock. I don't think I can do what I'm doing without him. He's the person I spend the most time with out of anybody in my life. And he keeps me together. If we look at society, it is made to help able-bodied people. Everything about the built environment is structured because somebody assumes a certain body, and this body stands and walks and sees and hears. This is why I say that independence doesn't exist. What does exist is interdependence. We all need each other to survive. We all do.
Kore ke batla ba bone hore le rona batho ba disable re batho jwalo ka bona. Re ntse re tshwana kaofela empa fela e le karohano ya hore ha ke tsebe ho tsamaya, yena o kgona ho tsamaya.
I want to leave the planet in a blaze of glory. I want to go out like a firework. My body may have deteriorated over the years and may have decayed, but my spirit is everlasting and will continue to reverberate long after I've left the earth.